Hi everybody, I am Dr. Madhuma Pereira. I am the biology lecturer at Eton campus. So today we are going to learn about the fluid mosaic model in biology lessons. So what is this fluid mosaic model? Actually this describes the structure of the cell membrane. Now this is, we know that in cell membrane there are different components like carbohydrates, phospholipids, cholesterols and proteins. So who proposed this fluid mosaic model? It is proposed by S.J. Singer and G.L. Nicholson in 1972. So we will see some of the features of this cell membrane. So we have this as a phospholipid bilayer. So what is this phospholipid bilayer? That means two layers of the phospholipids. So we have to know what is a phospholipid. Now in this picture you can see there are two molecules. One is triglyceride and the other one is phospholipid. Now in this triglyceride molecule you can see that there are three fatty acids which is bind to one molecule of glycerol, and in the other picture you can see one glycerol is going to bind with the two molecules of fatty acids as well as to one molecule of phosphate. Now in this phosphate it is a ion, so charged molecule, so it can attract that means it is hydrophilic, so it can interact with water. What about the triglyceride molecule? As it is only having the fatty acids, it is not going to interact with water, so it is hydrophobic. Now when we arranged these phospholipids in the water, so you can see the structure in this way. The arrangements you can see in this way. All the heads of the phospholipids are going to arranged outward as hydrophilic, as they are hydrophilic, and the tails are going to arrange inwards as they are hydrophobic in nature. So this picture it shows the arrangement of the phospholipid molecules or phospholipid bilayer in water. So how this fluid mosaic model, the term fluid comes to the cell membrane. The fluid mean this phospholipid molecules are going to move around within each of these layer, then it will give the fluidity to the cell membrane, and also by the cholesterol molecules. Now I have told you that there are different components in the cell membrane, so one component is cholesterol molecule. So this cholesterol molecules is also going to regulate the fluidity of the cell membrane, right. So this fluidity, as it is going to regulate the fluidity, it can prevent the phospholipid molecules from packing too closely in cold conditions and also becoming too fluid at higher temperatures. Now this picture shows the structure of a cholesterol molecule. Now in this picture you can see the hydrophilic part of the cholesterol molecules as well as the hydrophobic part of the cholesterol molecule. Now that means the cholesterol molecule, it is having hydrophilic part as well as the hydrophobic part. Now as I told you that cholesterol is engaged in regulating the fluidity of the cell membrane, so also it will give the strength to the cell membrane, because this cholesterol molecule, as it is having the hydrophobic part and the hydrophilic part, the hydrophilic part of this cholesterol molecules is going to interact with the hydrophilic part of the phospholipids. Hydrophobic part of the cholesterol molecule is going to interact with the hydrophobic part of the phospholipids. So in this way it can give strength to the cell membrane, and as I told you, it will help in controlling the fluidity of the membranes. How the word mosaic come to the fluid mosaic model? Now this fluid mosaic model means the cell membrane is studded with the protein molecules. So it is arranged like tiles in a mosaic. So that is why the word mosaic gives to the model. So proteins are of different types in the cell membrane, like integral proteins and the peripheral proteins. Because of this arrangement of the proteins in the cell membrane, it gives this model as a mosaic model, right. So there are some integral proteins as well as the peripheral proteins. Integral proteins mainly they can act as the channels, carriers and the receptors. Peripheral proteins mainly they can maintain the cell shape and also anchor the membrane to the cytoskeleton or the extracellular matrix. And then the other component that is there in the cell membrane is the carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are of different types like glycolipids and glycoproteins. So they are mainly helping, or they are playing crucial role in cell recognition, communication and acting as the markers. And what is this dynamic nature of the cell membrane? Dynamic nature of the cell membrane mean as I told you that the proteins are there arranged like tiles in a mosaic, and also it will give the fluidity to the cell membrane. So that is why it is known as the, it is called in the cell membrane, it is having a dynamic nature.